Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Outdoor Channel. Winter is finally upon us, which means we're going to be indoors here for a little bit, but we will be continuing our series today on all the mods, accessories, upgrades, and just things we've done to this truck. The last time that we did this, we talked about everything on exterior lighting of the truck and all the upgrades we've done with that. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the business end of the truck. So starting here at the bulkhead and working all the way to the back, we're going to talk about bed protection, storage, different accessories and tools we have back here, a little bit about towing, some things under the bed, and a couple of fun things along the way. So that is all coming up next. Stay tuned. All right, as we kick things off, we have a lot of different things we're going to go over today. This happens to be a 2021 Silverado Trail Boss, but because we're talking about stuff that goes here on the bed, a lot of these things will fit a multitude of different trucks, whether you have a Ram or a Toyota or a Ford, what have you. Most of these things you can get on Amazon. I will leave as many of the links in the description as I can, but for your particular truck, go ahead and check out the part number that fits your truck best. All right, so diving into number one, and this is in no particular order, but just what I have on top. This is a modular storage system from a company called T-Mat. You can see it lifts up out of here, and they are made up of these, I think they're 12 by 12 squares, and they have these little notches on here. So you can assemble this, you can make this as big or as small as you want. You can take it, you can pull it out, you can put it in, and what's nice about this is that T-Mat makes a ton of different accessories that will pop into these little X notches that are here. You can hold everything from buckets, propane tanks. We've had outdoor gear, coolers. The load stops can be placed really wherever you want. Some of them are adjustable, so you can customize to whatever you need to put in here. Again, you can get this on Amazon. You can get it directly from T-Mat. It's a really cool system. It doesn't weigh a lot. By pulling this in and out, you can make it easier to reach in here and grab different things. You can put it back when you're done with it. It's just a really, really cool modular system. Again, it'll fit a multitude of different trucks, and that's number one. Moving on to number two, we have underneath the T-Mat system here is a bed mat. Now, there's a few different companies that make this, and I'll overlay some footage of what some of those are. We've dealt with Last Fit liners. Now, if you're familiar with Last Fit, they make a lot of LEDs. They've gotten into floor mats and bed mats and things like that. We've also gotten a few of these from AAA liners. I honestly think they're made in the same factory. I think they're identical, but they're both really great options if you don't have a bed liner in your truck or if you just want some extra protection. As you can see from the footage, we have a couple of bins here, and whether you have just a painted bed or you even have a factory bed liner, a Line-X, Rhino liner, whatever that might be for you, the bins would kind of slide around. And with the bed mat, either from, again, AAA liners or Last Fit liners, they didn't slide around very much. It was really kind of nice, and as you can see from some of the road testing we did, things stayed pretty put. It's an inexpensive option. Again, you can get this on Amazon. It's something I would have you look at, and I do recommend. Moving on to number three is a number of different cargo nets that we feature here on the channel from a couple of different brands. Again, all these, yet again, you can get on Amazon. Some of these are a little bit simpler, some are a little bigger, a little bit smaller. Some have a compartment that you can store stuff in there. But what's nice about these is you can put them anywhere in the bed. You can use them as a load stop. You can use them to, store different things in. They're great. They're like between 20 and 30 bucks in most cases. And pretty much everyone that has a truck should probably have one of these. And moving on to number four, as we're talking about bed nets, this is a load or a cargo net. We did this on a 2026 Silverado that we were borrowing for a day. And this is great if you don't have a tonneau cover and you want to secure a load. In this case, we did it with some bins. They have some carabiners that come with it. You can tie down anywhere that you have tie downs or D-rings in your truck. Keeps your load from moving around. Again, something that pretty much every truck owner should have. Number five, this is a tonneau cover. Now, this is something that, again, I think most truck owners have if you don't have a cap. There are so many different versions of tonneau covers that are out there. Some are trifold, some are hard fiberglass. A lot of them are these soft roll-up ones like you see here. What's nice about the soft roll-up one is it's relatively easy to install. They're not very expensive. I actually got this one, I think, on Amazon on a Black Friday sale. If I remember right, it was somewhere right around $200, $215. This one happens to be from Gator. But I do think, honestly, whether you're looking at Tuxedo or Gator or any of the other ones that are out there, I think it's one of those things at this price point, they're pretty much made in the same factory, and you're basically getting the same tonneau cover. A couple little minor things, this one may have a little of that, this one may have a little of this, but they're all pretty much the same. Now, you know what? If this tonneau cover looks a little abused and used, well, that's because it is. It's 4 years old. It's been through outside most of its life, rain and snow and sunlight. So yeah, it looks a little worn, but it does not leak. It works as expected. There's no problems with it. Just looks a little worn. So do you need a really expensive tonneau cover? No. I mean, nice tonneau covers are nice, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You just don't need a really expensive one. This one will do just fine. Moving on, this is a Line-X bed liner. Now, depending on where you are here in the US, you may have a few different companies that do this. Line-X is the one that's near me. You can see that the sides are done here, as well as the bottom of the truck. This was one of the first things that I had done to the truck. It's a great option to add at least a minimal amount of protection to the bottom of your truck and the sides. I've had trucks in the past where I didn't put a liner in, and if you actually use your truck, it ends up getting all scratched up and takes the paint off and can cause rust, depending on what the material of your truck bed is made out of. So another great option, something for you to consider. All right, moving on. This truck from factory came with a number of different tie downs. You can see some there in the corner. I'll pan over to the side here. Came with a total of 12. Sometimes these are called D-rings. You can see here, I've added a few more along the sides of the bed, as well as here as the back. Now these are great to put bungee cords or other tie downs in here. You can pull those in, pull those out so they're not getting in the way. Extra attachment points are always great in the bed of a truck. Moving on, this is the truck luggage bag. This is from Tuxedo. This is actually designed to hang from the railing here and sit maybe over the wheel well or here in this back area. I've had this for I think around 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. So I just have it sitting on, again, those tie downs we looked at a moment ago, just here over the wheel well. It's a great use of space. And what's great about this is that it comes with a magnetic latch on here, and this is where I keep all of my bungee cords and tie downs, things like that, out of the way, not rolling around in the back of the bed, not taking up space under the back seat of the truck. And you know, for 10 years old, it's held up pretty well. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the tools and things we keep on board here in the back of the truck. This is the Big Red Jack. And yes, once again, you can get these on Amazon. They're not terribly expensive. This is big enough to lift this lifted truck. And again, it stores above the wheel well. Great use of space. It doesn't really hurt anything or take up any room out of here. In addition to that, we keep some other tire changing tools back here, a toolbox. And on this side, we have our WaveSafe tow box. We'll talk about that in just a moment, as well as some other towing accessories there in the bag, shackles, extra links, things like that. Okay, we've been moving through the list pretty quickly, and you guys have been watching this, probably wondering what these are. These are from Access. Now, Access makes tonneau covers and other truck accessories. These are their side storage pockets. They attach here at the bed of the truck, as you can see, and a single point there on the wheel well. You can put these on a multitude of different trucks. You can get these on Amazon, like most of the stuff on this list. You could put things like tools back here, oil, towing accessories, whatever that is for you. They store a ton of stuff. They're made of metal. You can bend them a little bit to shape, and you know what? They're pretty awesome. This is actually the second truck I've had these in. And this is kind of a 2-for-1 because if you look closely, there are some notches here in the side pockets on both sides. And what that is for, also made by Access, but other companies make this too, is the Easy Retriever. Now this is something that's great. You can use it. This is a 6.5-foot bed, so it's a deep bed. I can reach all the way to the end without any trouble. Has a hook on there. You can use that to grab whatever you need and pull it towards you. Super awesome to have. But because it's telescoping, you can adjust the height of this. We're going to put that in that notch right there, and we can make this longer or shorter. And put the other end right there. And now you have a load stop. Now for me, I like WaySafe hitches. They have the built-in scale. This is their storage box, which is really convenient because I can leave it here in the back of the truck. There's room to put other accessories and things like that in here, whether they're from WaySafe or from somebody else. This is their aluminum 2.0, has the 10-inch drop, 2-inch shank, but you can put other sizes in here as well. This is that built-in scale I was telling you about. This is awesome because you can measure your tongue weight. They make a few different versions of this. This one again is the aluminum, but they have a steel. They have an economy one called an Arrow Hitch. And these are pretty awesome. They're very versatile. Again, this being a lifted truck, having this 10-inch shank makes a huge difference because if we're pulling the pop-up trailer, I'm all the way down here. If I'm pulling the boat trailer, I'm usually about here. And if I'm pulling the travel trailer a little bit bigger, I can change out the ball from a 2-inch to a 2 5/16, and I'm usually working about here. And don't forget, we have a hitch giveaway going on right now, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Hopefully we get there very, very soon. I will have the details over in the description. You guys can click that link and maybe win a hitch. All right, now that we've covered everything inside of the bed, I've actually lost count. We're gonna check out everything that is underneath or kind of behind the bed, but still here on the back of the truck. First up is something we have underneath here behind the wheel, and this is a set of airbags. Like I mentioned before, this is a lifted truck. Now whether you do a level or a lift, you end up making the truck what's known as level. You take the rake out of the truck. And because we actually tow with this truck and haul with this truck, when I put a bunch of weight on the back, I end up kind of sagging a little bit. I don't want that. Now there's a few different ways you can kind of overcome that. If you're towing, you can certainly use a weight distribution hitch. That'll take some of the tongue weight off of the truck and put it back onto the trailer, or you can use the airbags that we're showing here. What's nice about the airbags is that I can adjust the air pressure really however I like to have the ride, depending on what I am towing or hauling. I ended up going with Rough Country for the install. I paid for these out of my own pocket. They did not give me these. Rough Country does not sponsor me, as well as a lot of companies don't. It was a relatively easy-ish install. It does take a handful of hours because you got to remove some of the plates and the bump stops and things like that before you can even install the airbags to this. Some things I really liked about the install, a couple of things I wish was a little bit better. I do have a full-length video install if you want to check that out, and how to get these, where to get them, how to do the install. There are a few different ways you can charge the system or adjust the air pressure. Rough Country makes an air compressor. Ready Lift makes a nice one as well. I have 2 Schrader valves here, right by the fuel fill. It's pretty easy to install. It's easy to get at, and adjust the pressure. Like I said, they're out of the way. They're not sticking out somewhere where you can damage them, and no one really knows that they're there. Honestly, almost looks like it belongs there. While we're down here, these are mud flaps. Now these happen to be from WeatherTech, made in the USA. Super easy install, not very expensive. Again, I tow. I don't want to be kicking up too many rocks and things into whatever I'm trailering. For a stock wheel and tire, these are great. Now, I have these 12.5 by 35 Bicky Thompson Baja Boss. These certainly stick out with a negative offset since I did the lift. So they don't cover them quite as well as a stock wheel and tire. I may have to go back and change out, put something else here, but for a stock wheel and tire that's not these, these actually work really, really well. This is the Husky wheel liner, and it's just some molded plastic. It's an insert that goes in your wheel well. Now, depending on what package you get when you pick up your truck, some trucks have something here already from the factory. This one did not. This one was just bare painted metal, and very easy for it to get rock chips and possibly start to rust out over time. And kind of rounding out the last 2 things here on the back of the truck, these are more cosmetic. We did debadge the Silverado and the LT here in the back. being a trail boss, there's a lot of black things that are here. The chrome lettering on here just didn't look right. Of course, we can black those out. I thought it was a cleaner look just to take those off and make it look a little nicer. And then the final thing is we took off the HDMI ports and put on these quad tips. Now these have been here for about 3 years. You can see there's a little bit of wear here on the inside, but otherwise for Amazon tips, these have held up really, really well. Again, having the HDMI ports off of the truck, they look a lot nicer. We also did the resonators and did a whole setup here underneath, so it sounds amazing. It's actually a little too loud. The wife kind of complains about it, but for me, it sounds pretty awesome. It doesn't drone a whole lot. Really happy with it. All right, guys, as we wrap things up, I, again, have pretty much lost count of all the stuff we've done to the truck here on the business end over the last couple of years. I do have install videos, I think, for pretty much everything here. Again, not all of it, but most of this you can get on Amazon. I will have all of that over in the description. You guys can check it out whenever it's convenient. If you like this type of content, do hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel out quite a bit. I'm one of the smaller guys, so every view counts. And we'll see you next time.